The following is a presentation of TFNN. Live at TFNN, the Power Trading Hour, with your host, David White. Now, the author of The Path of Least Resistance and The Tech Insider, David White.
And welcome all. Welcome back to TFNN.com, your headquarters for technical trading and investing. Hope you all had a wonderful weekend. I'm sure I sure needed that 3-day weekend. And boy, I tell you what, I'm ready for the next one. We had a good one. Did a little bit of sailing. Built a brand new computer for trading, and I'll be using that one starting tomorrow for a lot of things. But I always named my PCs. They've all had names at one time or another, and normally they're from Dilbert, although some of them have been named other ones. This one has been a faithful servant for many years, almost about 3 years now. Normally my computers only last about 2 years, but I tend to have and buy pretty much the only real equipment you need as a trader is a good computer. So I spend a lot of time and effort and money making sure I have the best equipment. But this one was named Catbert. Of course, if you've ever watched Dilbert, there's Catbert and Ratbert and Ratbert. There's several other Berts out there, but all the animals. I used to have all the stuffed animals. I bought one to set on top of every computer. I've got many here, so it's not I'm always trying to keep them separated, but I'm having a trouble finding a Ratbert stuffed animal to put on this one, but he'll go in there tomorrow. So this show is in memory of a fine computer that has served me well. Catbert, I've known you well. He'll be relegated downstream tomorrow, and as I start my brand new, huge, smoking fast multi-processor computer tomorrow, I'm salivating at the potential energy and power of my new machine. And of course, one of the things I did, of course, was build it myself. And I think I spent the best $80 I've ever spent on a computer. This new computer case has 200 millimeter fans, and they are totally silent. I've always sat next to Catbert. He's sounded like a small vacuum cleaner all these years. Of course, I've got a bunch of fans shoved in there to keep the heat out. But this one with these nice big 200 millimeter fans, one in the front, one in the top, one in the side, one in the back, and a power supply that the fan doesn't even hardly ever move. It is not even whisper quiet. It is dead quiet. And a trader, being comfortable, having a good chair, a computer you can rely on, one that you back up regularly. My feeling from talking to a lot of people in the trading community, if their cars were their computers, they'd all be over on the side of the road with their hoods up. Doesn't seem like a lot of people back up their computers, regularly install their updates. But I've had probably one virus in the last 5 years. I make sure that we have good virus protection on my trading machines and the machines that I do other things with. But a little pound of, or an ounce of prevention worth a pound of cure, and I pretty much do incremental backups every single night, and every Friday or Saturday back up the whole drive. And with this newest machine filled with SSD drives, I can actually recover everything in about 22 minutes if need be, if everything went to hell in a handbasket. And I don't think we think that much about computers and trading, but it's what makes it all possible. Before you had to have a teletype and talk to somebody on the phone, and hopefully you got your order within 5 minutes or 10 minutes if the broker picked up the phone at all. Computers have made it possible for us to sit at home and walk the dogs, do a bunch of other stuff instead of being stuck on a trading floor somewhere. We're alone with our own thoughts. But just a thought, make sure you pat your computer today, you back it up, you deworm it, and a good running computer is a happy computer, and it makes a happy trader. So anyway, back up every week. Well, mine is a smoking hot i5 processor, the latest Haswell, and I'll be upgrading my machine for 40-inch monitors come this Christmas. In fact, they're probably going to be out later this month. But one thing I hate wearing is glasses. They give me headaches. I have to take them off and on all the time. Of course, you're always cleaning them. I have a good far sight, and the new monitors, 40-inch monitors, you'll be able to hook up to my box. I'll probably buy it about Christmas as soon as the price start dropping. But the 40-inch 4,000 by 2,000 resolution monitors are going to be available. And I built this machine with the idea that I'll be going to those really large monitors and setting them, I don't know, 4 or 5 feet away from me. But Windows 8 also has the provision for those super high-resolution monitors to update the font size so that it doesn't look like 5 feet away you're trying to read the top line of the eye chart. Anyway, just a thought. Had a great weekend out there. Hope everybody else did too. Of course, here at TFNN, it is September, and on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm normally stocked by Andy Heck. He has been gone for the last couple of weeks teaching trading courses, and maybe he's taught some stuff. Maybe he's learned something from somebody out there, but he'll be on after me today. I know a lot of people have been wondering when he comes back. We also have a great contest. If you've been in a jar on Funk and Wagnall's porch, sealed in a mason jar, and haven't listened to it, you'll find it at the breaks too. We have a contest at TFNN where we're going to be giving $10,000 away, $3,000 for the top prize. You need to go to the front page of TFNN and sign up before the 5th of September. So, I don't know, pretty much got all our housekeeping and weekend duties taken care of. Of course, we had a big push out here this morning, and it was not unpredictable. I thought we would today. This is the last day of fund buying. The one thing that we didn't really know until Friday late after my show, I think it came out at 3:30, and that was the ETF redemptions. But for ETFs, especially the spiders, there was $16 billion in redemptions, which is the single biggest month ever for ETFs. Of course, people using ETFs a great deal more, and it seems like not all that money is coming out of the market. It is going in and becoming much more a stock picker's market. But the ETFs certainly had a huge amount of money pulled out of them, and I think we're seeing a little bit more of that yet out here today. But what can you say? Even the bond ETFs pulled another $7 billion out in August. I suspect that we're going to see a lot of that continue into this month. Of course, Microsoft is the big news out here today. We had Microsoft buying Nokia, a marriage made in hell. But I guess Steve Ballmer just couldn't go out calmly. And the problem was Nokia was threatening to quit building Windows phones because they couldn't sell any. Microsoft gets about $10 per Nokia Windows operating system phone. But they're just selling a little bit better than the BlackBerry. And we all know that that isn't cutting it. But going to pay, what, $7.8 billion for Nokia. I could have saved the money and bought them maybe at $4 billion, but hard to say. Other things coming out this week, Wednesday, the beige book, and remember that is tomorrow. We did stay a day late, so you need to watch that. We've got vehicle sales tomorrow also. Thursday, the ECB has an all-day meeting. I'm not exactly sure when that rolls out, but I think they have an announcement at 11:30, something like that normally. So keep an eye out for that. We've got ADP jobless claims on Thursday also. Of course, today they did push this market up, and it was in pretty much the last day of fund buying. And there was no real volume after 9:50. It had all pretty much petered out, and they pushed it sideways for about an hour and 40 minutes until the Speaker of the House, John Boehner, came out and said he supported the president, and that was the end of it. The market started rolling over early. I suspect the market would have rolled over probably later in the day. When I saw the volume really start to peter out about 9:50, there was two individual stocks I did want to short. I almost shorted them on Friday. They actually had already given the signal. But I thought, well, going into a 3-day weekend, I really wanted to see what was going on here today, and got 50 cents or a buck more on both of these highly bloated stocks, and we'll be watching them in the next few days. But right now, every bounce is an opportunity to add, and I'm almost 100% short the market, and of course, we're going to know very quick. About 1620 on the S&P cash is where we're going to find the first level of support, in my opinion. And then if that breaks, we go down to 1575 rather quickly. If these redemptions in the ETFs continue, which are the largest in history, albeit it is a bigger ETF market than ever. But we are going back to 2007 levels and solidly beat it. It's a hard call of whether or not on a percentage basis, these are still the largest, but pretty darn close. In the biotech sector, Regenxbio Pharmaceuticals, REGN, is up about 5%. One of the stronger sectors out there today, but that's why they had some news, pretty good news out there, but it's REGN, if you're looking for that. Dollar index is pretty much at the best levels we've seen in a month out here. We're up, is that right? 218? Yeah. So pretty good. Nice little move out there in the dollar. We got a question in the den out here, and that is, what are my thoughts on TLT? We'll try to get to that when we get back. You can always give me a call at 877-927-6648. That's 877-927-6648.
Andy Hecht, the host of the Commodities Hour, recently launched his newsletter service, the Technomental Commodity Report, and only 6 weeks in, Andy has already recorded a triple-digit winner. Andy advised his subscribers to purchase a long-term call option at 46 cents on July 11th, and then sent out a special update Friday, August 16th, advising his subscribers to close that position at $1.40. That's a 204% profit in just 5 weeks. The Technomental Commodity Report by Andy Hecht is released each Thursday morning, and right now you can get a month-long free trial to this subscription while locking in the low introductory rate of only $39 a month. Andy Hecht has been a commodities trader for over 3 decades. Let his experience work for you. Sign up for your month-long free trial to the Technomental Commodity Report today at TFNN.com.
with the launch of Tiger TV. TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With Tiger TV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, David White, Larry Pezzamento, Andy Hecht, Victor Jones, or Daryl Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out Tiger TV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investments, and whether you're bullish or bearish on U.S. Treasuries, the ETFs from Direction Shares are there to help you magnify your perspective. Bull ETFs for a rising market and bear ETFs for a falling market. Direction Shares gives you the tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC. TFNN has just announced our first ever virtual trading competition, and we're giving away $10,000 in cash prizes, and it's free to enter. Sign up by Thursday, September 5th at noon Eastern, and the trading competition will take place the following week, Monday, September 9th, with first place winning $3,000. Don't delay, as you won't be able to register once the competition begins. Sign up now and reserve your spot in TFNN's $10,000 virtual trading competition. To sign up and for all the details, log on to TFNN.com. McEwen Mining is a high-growth, mid-tier producer in the Americas with a market capitalization of $1 billion. Experienced mining executive Rob McEwen, as chairman, CEO, and president, owns 25% of the outstanding shares of McEwen Mining and has put in place an ambitious business plan with the goal of qualifying for inclusion in the S&P 500 by 2015. With $70 million in cash and liquid assets as of the end of 2012 and completely debt-free, McEwen Mining is poised for growth. Production in 2013 is forecasted to grow at 24%, reaching 130,000 gold equivalent ounces, and over the next 3 years, McEwen Mining projects that their production will increase to 290,000 gold equivalent ounces, almost a threefold increase from last year's totals. If you'd like to find out more about McEwen Mining, click on their banner on the front page of TFNN.com or check them out on the NYSE or TSX under the symbol MUX.
Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
And welcome back. It is one of those days where everybody's still getting into gear. Had a question in the den, and that was what I thought about a TLT. Looked like, it's still in a down channel out here. It got a little bit of reprieve. You could make a case that there was a down day on August 11th in 2011. That was on August 11th, 2011, at 103.20. They came in with 37 million shares. We did break through that, and for the most part, never saw that kind of volume. I suspect that we're getting this bounce now and building energy. The problem is, other than one day, really not seeing any kind of sign of strength in it. Why I don't have a great feel for it? It really looks like this thing could be coming back down to the $97 level and the 95, right under 95 level also. This looks like there hasn't been any real change in this, and as long as those ETF numbers don't improve for inflows, continue to think that we've got some pretty big problems out here for whatever reason it is. We did get into this one little section, and that should be fairly decent support around 103. We got in that today. Let's zoom in on that here just a little bit. What do we get down here to low 103.52? Not a lot of volume so far today, but we'll have to see how it comes in at the end of the day. But I'd really be watching the volume on TLT. I don't think there's any reason to get in front of this right now. It still has the opportunity to find its way, I think, back down to those lower numbers. But we are at least in an area where we've seen lighter volume compared to that same area before. But that wasn't much out there. I think we're just building steam to go lower at the moment. And what else do we have going on out here? Well, wanted to look at some other stocks. We'll look at those when I come back. We talked a little bit about Microsoft MSFT. Of course, no one likes this deal, especially at the end of a tenure. You want to give these kind of options, if at all available, back to the CEO. Certainly looks like Microsoft is at least going to come back and test $30.84. That's the August 15th low. We are in that candle today. And 240 million shares was the highest volume in that range, which is back on the 19th of July. Which is kind of acted as support, but it really looks like you've got about 3 gaps all the way back down to this $29 level. And, I'm not really bearish on Microsoft. They still have a good business. They still throw off lots of cash. And if we could get Ballmer from quit throwing his money away on things like Skype, they should have done that internally themselves. But a lot of those things are probably just going to start panning out this fall. Of course, they've got an investor conference meeting on September the 19th. We need to be very wary of that. Somebody or a lot of people are already starting to pick the new CEO from Microsoft, and they sent him over actually to work at Nokia. So now that they bought Nokia, they may be picking this guy up as the new CEO. There's one other gal that they've been talking about internally. And there is the option to pick somebody totally out of the company. But I don't know. You always run the risk of finding a Johnson that takes J.C. Penney and flushes it down the toilet. But right now, technically, certainly looks like this thing wants to rush down to about 28.80, which is the bottom of all these gaps that started happening back around the April 10th. Through the April 22nd area. And there's some decent volume in those, but continues to be an issue. And see. There's nothing like sneezing out here. And it seems like I get about 10 minutes into the show and it starts. But hopefully I turn back the lever to get the volume correct. Anyway, we'll be back in just a few moments. You can give me a call at 877-927-6648. That's 877-927-6648.
With the stock market flirting with all-time highs and volatility back, now is the perfect time for a 2-week free trial to Market Insights. On Monday, June 24th, Tom O'Brien closed out all 5 open positions in his daily newsletter, Market Insights, with all trades being profitable and ranging from a 2.23% gain all the way to more than an 11% gain in just one position for an incredible 32.7% profit combined between the 5 trades. Let Tom O'Brien's years of market experience work for you. If you'd like to see for yourself what kind of trading newsletter Tom O'Brien delivers to his clients each morning, then now is a perfect time to sign up for a 2-week free trial to his daily newsletter, Market Insights. In a volatile market like we currently have, the potential for fast market moves like we've seen recently is a trader's dream. So don't wait any longer. Sign up for your 2-week free trial to Market Insights today at the front page of TFNN.com.
No matter where you listen to TFNN programming, we want you to know you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing Tiger TV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones and iPads, located at the top right-hand corner of the TFNN homepage. You can use your smartphone to view Tiger TV, but if you don't have a mobile connection that can keep up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all of our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and radio call and talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed to trade in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information possible, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com. Educating investors.
TFNN is having an open house in the Tiger's Den for 2 weeks, and the best part is that everyone is invited and you just have to be a member at TFNN. The open house in the Tiger's Den has already begun and will last through our week-long virtual trading competition, which ends September 13th. Use this time to exchange trading ideas with other traders in the virtual chat room and discuss trading strategy while gaining high-definition access to all TFNN hosts' charts and screens during their live daily programs. If you're not already a member at TFNN, then the easiest way to become a member is by simply signing up for our $10,000 virtual trading competition, and the rest takes care of itself. In order to register for TFNN's virtual trading competition, you have to sign up by Thursday, September 5th at noon, and that's right around the corner. So don't wait and sign up now. For all the information and to fill out your entry, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN's open house in the Tiger's Den for 2 weeks only, ending September 13th. Sign up today. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's Nadex.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Harmony Gold. For more information, just click the Harmony Gold banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And we are back, and it's a big event for me here. We're finally cycling out the old computer and bringing in the new one tomorrow. So I'm giving my computer a pat. It's faithfully executed its duties for 3 years without flaw, and I had to replace a couple of hard drives over time, but I use it, and it runs 24 hours, 7 days a week. So been good, and of course we already have people asking for it, but it's not going to the bone farm. I have other uses. I've got plenty of computers here, and it just after a while, of course, this one was one of the first super dual cores available, and still work to this day fairly well. I haven't had a new processor in it, but just the new multi-cores are just so much faster, and certainly can help me do a few things much faster, like get some of these scans done like I do on the show most days. Anyway, we're looking at a few of these stocks and how they're moving. Wanted to get back here just a little bit. Get back. Wanted to look at Camden Property Trust. So far, we haven't talked a lot about volume. I wanted to see how this thing came in. It was already big, but we're up 2 points on the S&P cash at 1634.99 as we speak. 2.8 billion shares are ready on the tape. So summer's over, folks. At least volume for today. We've come back with a big bang, and that bang says sell into any pop. And it'll be very interesting to see what the last 30 minutes of the day looks like. But it looks to me like maybe the Feds come out and wants to just make sure that we don't move fast down. The other thing is that we've, even with today's action, we've seen the VIX move. And, of course, it's up only 20 cents out here. But you're going to see some of these ETFs still underperforming the VIX. It actually went down to 1647 that was at the open. Got down to 1611, and it's not uncommon to see that. We talked a little bit about it Friday. Remember, the VIX is the next 30 days in the S&P futures. It doesn't predict it very well, which is one of the reasons I love trading the VIX on occasion, and that is that it will get to a very low level, and everybody gets bored and starts moving their money. That volatility index will move back up, and the best cure for a low VIX is a low VIX over time. Eventually, people will get bored and get out of the market. When that happens, VIX will start moving, and we've seen that. I wanted to get back to Camden Property Trust, though. This thing had been at $62.08 with 610,000 shares on October 15th of last year. Got close to it, about 50 cents higher on June 20th. But the volume was a strong 1.2 million shares. Good chance we're going to come back and test it. So what do we know? Last couple of days, 502,000 shares on Friday. On today, and what we got? Yeah, I think so. But probably going to be easily be able to break that October 15th low out here in Camden Property Trust. All these home buyers out here. But today was the day you wanted to see lighter volume and test these. And I do a scan. If you've ever looked at my newsletter, I like to start off with stocks that have either broken highs on much lighter volume or held lows on much lighter volume. And that's the first signal that you're getting a trend change in the stock. We're seeing some other ones out here, but the same thing. Even with a lighter volume, these things are still breaking down. And some of these stocks don't look that bad. The downside is that this last leg started to pick up more energy than the previous legs up. And in the case of Solar City, we're getting back in and went through a lot of these high volume and strength days and signs of strength. We had probably the big first sign of strength on this wasn't May 13th of this year. Had 6.3, almost 6.4 million shares on to the upside. You had 2 more days out here. You've got a high volume, untested high out here on May 20th. I'm probably the most bearish on these solar companies, including Solar City. But this is not a bad setup, other than the fact that from June 24th up to the high on August 6th at 45.60. This thing had kind of light energy. The energy has far exceeded it on the way back down by about 20%. But we're finally coming down into some of these gap up days. Like I said, 6.4 million shares, and volume is not all that extensive. So the problem is I've got 4 or 5 stocks like this. The rest of the market is just blowing these things apart. And I suspect that even this Solar City, if we saw a resolution or even shooting start in the Gulf, we'd probably see these start moving down with crude. The thought, and unfortunately everybody's repeating it, is that as soon as the first shot is fired in the Gulf, that the crude oil is going to come off the highs and the push. But I don't know if that, since so many people are repeating it, it makes me a little nervous out there about what's going on in that market. Of course, we're up about 90 cents at 108.55 on that crude market. But any of these alternative energy markets are going to be problematic. There is a company that has broken above its previous high. It did it on earnings on Friday, and that's Splunk. It's a relatively new IPO. One of the things that has been happening, though, for almost a month, maybe 6 weeks, and that is that these stocks that are breaking highs on high volume are pulling right back into the trading range. We've seen that in a couple in stocks like IBM and some of the other big Dow stocks. As soon as they get up and do a little prairie dog and stick their head up out of the burrow, they find a lot of sellers. In the case of Splunk, we've got a kind of a little reversal signal out here today with lighter volume. But there are a few stocks out here that if they come back and fill these gaps, market does turn around. You want to keep an eye on them. Splunk would be one. It did do it, but a rising tide raises all boats, but a lowering tide lowers them all at the same time. So we're seeing have a problem out here. Now, some of the other stocks that look like they could be making or close to making bottoms out here are T. Rowe Price. A lot of these broker-dealers look like they're in a trading range. This one actually looking fairly good. Got into its previous low, and it's just kind of banging away at these lows. I wouldn't be buying it here, but there are a few out here that just can't get the kind of energy up. Maybe it needs one more bounce, a little bounce up to break these lows. But even today, 550,000 shares, just not one of these that's really participating in this broad market sell-off of the market. So we are going to be the same. To see what else we have. Unilever. This was another interesting one. I wanted to see how it was making its lows. This thing is back after its June 24th low, $37.55. 2.8 million shares got into that on August 30th, which is Friday, 2.5 million shares. So it's only 300,000 shares light on a Friday going into a weekend. You'd expect a whole lot lighter volume, maybe 1.5 million shares on a Friday like that, that we still have a decent volume and even stronger today, 2.5 billion shares. Pretty much probably a given that we're going to blow away at least the volume, if not the low, by the close on Unilever, which, of course, is a big conglomerate selling what's that little silly bear that is Snuggles, the soft bear? I think that that's them. And Snuggles the bear and the Irish Spring soap, which I haven't used a hard bar of soap in 15 years. Since it went to liquid, it just seemed to me like that nasty little bar of soap was always in the showers. And I've noticed a lot of new showers don't have the bar of soap little thing in some of the new houses I've looked at. So maybe that hard bar of soap that squeezes it out of your hand, of course, needed a soap on a rope for that. But it is, it's banging away. It certainly looks to me, at least on Unilever, what we're really looking for is this big gap to come back and be tested. That gap was on the 23rd of November of last year, and basically looking at the low out there about 36.93 and below. Get all the way to to 36.40 from that 36.93 low of that date, and that gap, just like a lot of them, will eventually get filled. This does not have a high volume untested low. This thing went to 1.1 million shares and went right back into it. So not a big deal out here, but very interesting that we're seeing even some of these safety stocks not being able to carry through. With 15 minutes left in my show, or to the top of the hour, we're up about 1 point on the S&P cash. Of course, we've seen the Dow Jones already go negative. It's 17 points. Of course, it had its high of 14,933 today, and we're good. 150 points off that already. So we're probably going to see, if this could get really ugly, I wouldn't be surprised to see a 300-point day intraday, and that we close down another 150 points by the end of the day if anything gets moving. But watching that volume, 2.8 billion shares, market participants are back and not that happy. Okay, we've got a caller, and it's Barb from Seattle. How you doing today, Barb?
Just fine, thank you. I'd like an entry point for SLW.
Good question. I'm thinking this gap down here at 2364 is where this thing is going to meander on its way back down. You might be 2462, but probably looking somewhere back in there. If you're watching on Tiger TV, there's a double gap out here, and I really like the way that double gaps operate because they really seem to close that gap fairly quickly. I don't know are you watching on Tiger TV or in the den?
Yes.
Okay. Right under that $24 level, there's the gap up that happened on the 12th of August, and there's also a gap that was open from the June 7th, smaller gap, and not a lot of energy in that one, but the one that had 8.2 million shares on the 12th, certainly suspect that we're going to get back just under that $24 level, and probably on the back of the dollar index. I suspect we've set a low back out here. We've gotten a couple of false breaks to the lower side of the dollar index, and I think this thing's probably headed back up to $84. And at that point, we're probably going to find out whether or not you want to be long silver or gold yet again, because this could get I wouldn't be surprised, especially with the deleveraging in China and some of the other Asian economies, to see the dollar continue to run and be fairly strong. So don't be surprised out here. You already caught the first run, didn't you?
Right.
Yeah.
So it's time to sell it then.
Yeah, I mean, we could see 2-3 months of this thing going sideways or even back down before the next big run's going to happen. I mean, this was a huge move, and I just don't want to get everybody too excited thinking that the move's going to happen right again, especially if we see the Fed continuing on the tapering trend. We're probably going to see that in the next week. I just wouldn't get too far ahead. This thing's made a monstrous move, and monster moves up and down have the same thing, and that is they need to consolidate for a while before you get back in them. And I think 24 would be the first place I'd be looking to get back into this thing.
Okay, thank you very much.
What are you thinking, right here or the 25.66?
Well, I was wondering if now would be a good time to buy, but evidently not.
No, I mean, you had that huge sign of strength, really, that was the monster on Silver Wheaton on the 15th. That thing had, 14.2 million shares. That pretty much told me that this thing was ready to be exhausted. And, of course, you pulled back. You're in that same trading range now. And that pretty much looks back to the previous gap or the previous low and where you're at now. So you're right up there. If I was long this thing, I'd probably take my money here and hope for a return to that $24 level. No guarantee you're going to get it, but I think that's the only safe place to buy this. Or, if you did get a test of 25.66 on 3 million shares or something, you'd have to probably consider it. But safe place to buy is at $24.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. You bet. Thanks for the call. And what else do we have? That's it. We'll be back in a minute.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's trading newsletter.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the Forex market, and more. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 full weeks. That's an $85 value. Yours free when you register right now.
Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind.
And get the edge you've been looking for.
On Wednesday, August 14th and Thursday, August 15th, Tom O'Brien advised his Gold Report subscribers to close out 6 of their 9 open positions, all winning trades ranging from a 10.6% profit to an incredible 48% profit in just one equity. And all 6 of those winning trades had been initiated no earlier than just the previous month. With the 600th weekly Gold Report issue fast approaching, Tom O'Brien brings an incredible wealth of knowledge and experience to the gold market and the equities within the industry. That's almost 12 years since this powerful newsletter first began, and right now you can get a 30-day free trial to the Gold Report by visiting TFNN.com. Make sure you're a subscriber, as this volatile gold market provides trading opportunities after declining all the way from $1,900 to under $1,200 an ounce in only 2 years. Get your 30-day free trial to the Gold Report today by visiting TFNN.com. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
What's the one thing that pulls people back from the breakthrough that they're moving towards? What's the only thing that really stops people from taking action? You and I both know the answer, and sure, we can come up with the reasons why we're not where we want to be, but the only reason that we don't do more with our life is fear. Or if you're an overachiever, call it stress. Simply put, there's something that happened to us in our past that's holding us back from the life we deserve, yet you and I are okay, we're here. So why should we let our past control our future? Exactly. We shouldn't. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes with TFNN.com, and when it comes to your trading and investing, I can help you overcome your fear of loss. Together, we'll turn weakness into strength with a system I've developed called Mastering Probability. I'll teach you how to make your money work harder for you than you do for it. I'll teach you the tools that provide financial freedom. Go to the homepage of TFNN.com, click on my name, Steve Rhodes, and begin your journey of mastering probability risk-free. It's time to become a pioneer of your future versus a prisoner of your past.
Join Andy Hecht as he teaches you how to make money in commodities. The Commodities Hour, next on TFNN.
And we are back. You got a few stocks moving out here that are actually in positive territory. So we'll leave you with this little bit of bullish news out here, and that is Jarden Corporation, JAH, is buying Yankee Candle for a little over $1 billion. Probably not a big deal, but I guess the market really likes that on a down day. This is one of the things you really should be looking for. You've got lots of volume, and you've got a pretty good bottom out here. This thing's been banging around these June 24th lows, trying to get into them. And this is what I was talking about with really light volume back down into this test. We had previous volume on June 24th, 1.4 million shares. And, of course, on Friday you had 580,000 shares. That's exactly what you're looking for out here. Nice little return out here. HLF, of course, a noted professor from New Jersey, I forget which college it was, has released a report and said that there's not enough information released internally from HLF to determine whether or not it was a Ponzi scheme. This thing had gotten down to 56.86 today, but I suspect Icon came in and going to support it a little bit. But I think the war on this thing is far from over, and we'll find out. We've got the SEC investigating it, and I think all the easy money following icon on this one is over. What else do we have? There's a MNST. And the rumor is that we're going to be seeing filings on this, and everybody will be short it. Volume did pick up on Monster Beverage today. This thing is back into its gap. Of course, a lot of times I don't put stock into rumors on the street. And, of course, on a down day like this, easy to kind of goose a market. This thing has duplicated the volume it had last time in this major gap. That gap came up on 5.6 million shares, MNST. That was on June 4th. And when we see that, we're back into this gap. 2.9 million shares. This is another one that looks more like someone was throwing some cold water to run this one out, and certainly don't have the volume yet. It is up against that strength. So there are a couple stocks out here that are either bottoming or even making signs that they're good, but the majority of these stocks continue to look weaker out here. Got a question in the den. We got about a minute and a half, so I'm going to ask it. I bought an i5 over an i7. The reason mostly was that I wasn't going to be doing a lot of video compression. The extra threads on the i7 for probably what, 100, and I paid $200 for my i5K, which is about $30 under the prevailing 230 that you see out there. But the i7K version of that same chip, all those threads probably only do you a lot of good is if you're doing a lot of video compression. So if I would have been buying this machine, let's say for TFNN, to compress the video feeds for Tiger TV, I certainly would have wanted to buy the i7 and spent the extra $120, $140, whatever it is, $150 to go to the i7. Just not worth it unless you're compressing a lot of video. And other than doing the videos for the art of timing the trade charts, I don't do a lot of it. So the i5 is going to be smoking fast compared to my previous dual core. So it'll probably do everything I need. And there's a few more options out there for me to overclock the i5 when I need a lot of horsepower. Anyway, thanks, and we'll see you tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time.
Recently, Basil Chapman has had some outstanding trades in his newsletter, The Opening Call. Each morning by 9 a.m., Basil uploads his newsletter to the TFNN servers so that his subscribers can access his expert trading advice. Basil gives his take on the direction of key indices and updates any active trades that his subscribers are currently in. Just recently, Basil subscribers closed out a short position in Chipotle Mexican Grill, CMG, for more than an $86 profit per share, over a 20% gain in just one position. If you'd like to try out Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, then visit the front page of TFNN.com and click Trading Newsletters. There you'll find Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, where you can request a free sample copy. Also, don't miss Basil's program, The Tiger Technicians Hour, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, on TFNN.